Hi, this is Alan from Alpus Group, and I'm just going to run through the latest distressed property list for the end of 2022. So the distressed properties are shortlisted properties for sale that have been identified with potential for purchase at discount or below market value due to motivations of the seller and other factors impacting sale. So this could be a variety of reasons. It could be a short leasehold. It could be fire damage, flood damage, any sort of distress causing the owner to want to sell at a discount. So these may be properties that are in poor condition. So you'll see the locations of these. They range from Cornwall in the southwest, right along the south coast, right up through England, the heart of England, some in South Wales, north of England, up to the northeast. So this is the first one. It's two-bedroom cottage for sale in Whittlebury, NN12. That's in West Northamptonshire in the East Midlands. £285,000. It's got a low EPC. We've got a one-bedroom flat for sale in West Northamptonshire, East Midlands, £145,000, low EPC. Two-bedroom flat for sale in Carlton Square, Gedling, in the East Midlands, £110,000 to a cash buyer. Three-bedroom terraced house for sale in Finsbury Road, I guess, in Nottingham, East Midlands, £115,000 for a quick sale. Three-bedroom detached bungalow for sale in Warwickshire, East Lindsey, East Midlands. That's not Warwickshire, that's Warwick Road, I guess, in East Lindsey, in the East Midlands, £280,000, low EPC. We've got a plot for sale in Regent Street, Kettering, Northamptonshire, East Midlands, £850,000, that's fire damaged. Two-bedroom flat for sale in Huntingdon Street, Nottingham, East Midlands, £160,000, cash buyer. Two-bedroom terraced house for sale in 49 Kirkdale Road, Oadby and Wigston, East Midlands, £90,000, it's in poor condition. Three-bedroom detached house for sale in Chalk Lane in South Holland in the East Midlands, £220,000 for a quick sale. Three-bedroom end of terraced house for sale in West Northamptonshire, East Midlands, £277,500. It's got a low EPC. Three-bedroom semi-detached house for sale in Morris Road or Street in Chesterfield, East Midlands, £190,000 to a cash buyer. I would have thought Chesterfield is northwest rather than East Midlands. Anyway, if you're interested in this, give us a call and we can follow up. Three-bedroom semi-detached house for sale in Amber Valley in the East Midlands, £195,000 for a quick sale. One-bedroom apartment for sale in Mill Road, Malden, East of England, £110,000 to a cash buyer. Two-bedroom character property for sale in Aylsham Road, Broadland in the East of England, £100,000. It's got a low EPC. Two-bedroom duplex for sale in Military Road, Colchester, East of England, £160,000. It's got a low EPC. Two-bedroom terraced house for sale in Coleman Road or Street in Southend-on-Sea, East of England, £210,000 to a cash buyer. Two-bedroom apartment for sale in Regent House in Brentwood, East of England, £249,995. That's got Japanese knotweed, which is treatable. Hence the reason for the low price. It's unmortgageable. Two-bedroom terraced house for sale in Melton Road, Tendring, East of England, £110,000. It's water damaged. Two-bedroom park home for sale in Barnet Lane in Hartsmere in East of England, £200,000 to a cash buyer. Two-bedroom maisonette for sale in Tring Road in Central Bedfordshire, East of England, £115,000 to a cash buyer. One-bedroom park home for sale in Riverside, Huntingdonshire, East of England, £115,000 to a cash buyer. Three-bedroom semi-detached house for sale in East something or other Road, Central Bedfordshire, East of England, £200,000 to a cash buyer. One-bedroom flat for sale in Valkyrie Road, Southend-on-Sea, East of England, £99,000. It's got a short lease. 2-bedroom mobile home for sale in Taylor Gardens, Havering, London, £115,000 to a cash buyer. 2-bedroom maisonette for sale in Shepherd's Close, Redbridge in London, £165,000 to a cash buyer. 2-bedroom flat for sale in Terwin Street, Wandsworth, London, £40,500 to a cash buyer. I guess that is probably a short lease because it's such a low price, £40,500 in Wandsworth, which is an expensive area. 2-bedroom flat for sale in Cadogan Gardens, Kensington and Chelsea, London, £1.25 million. It's got a short lease. Nevertheless, it's highly priced because of the location, Kensington and Chelsea. 1-bedroom flat for sale in Varsity Drive, Richmond-on-Thames, London, £229,950 to a cash buyer. 2-bedroom terraced house for sale in Rainley in Brent, London, £250,000 to a cash buyer. 2-bedroom flat for sale, 6 Georgian House, Elms, something or other in Brent, North London, £195,000. It's got a short lease. 3-bedroom semi-detached house for sale in Star something Road in Bromley, South East London, £225,000. It's in poor condition. 1-bedroom flat for sale in Belgravia House in Lambeth, London, £200,000 to a cash buyer. 1-bedroom flat for sale, 25 Belgravia House in Lambeth, London, £200,000 to a cash buyer. 3-bedroom end of terraced house for sale in Waltham Forest, London, £675,000. That's got a low EPC. 2-bedroom terraced house for sale in Cobden Street, County Durham, North East, £35,000 to a cash buyer. 3-bedroom semi-detached house for sale in County Durham, North East, £195,000. It's got a low EPC. 5-bedroom terraced house for sale in George Street or Road in North Tyneside, North East, £79,950 to a cash buyer. 3-bedroom apartment for sale in Rose Bay Court, Darlington, North East, £90,000. It's fire damaged. 2-bedroom flat for sale in Maldorf Road West in Manchester, North West, £160,000 to a cash buyer. 4-bedroom end of terraced house for sale in Bury in the Northwest, £370,000. It's got Japanese knotweed. Nice looking house. The Japanese knotweed is treatable, so it's maybe worth a look if you're interested in properties in the Northwest. 3-bedroom terraced house for sale in Coventry, Chorley, Coventry Road, Coventry Street in Chorley, Northwest, £139,995. It's got a low EPC. 2-bedroom flat for sale in Kelso Place in Trafford, that's Manchester area, Northwest, £170,000 to a cash buyer. Studio flat for sale in Deansgate, that's Main Road in Manchester, postcode M3, Salford, Northwest, £170,000 to a cash buyer. 2-bedroom flat for sale in Commercial Street, Trafford, Northwest, £220,000 to a cash buyer. Studio apartment for sale in Norfolk Street, Liverpool, Northwest, £55,000 to a cash buyer. 3-bedroom detached bungalow for sale, Cheshire, West Chester, Northwest, £60,000 to a cash buyer. 3-bedroom terraced house for sale in Scott Lane in Wigan, in the Northwest, £85,000 to a cash buyer. 2-bedroom apartment for sale in Crosby Road, Sefton, in the Northwest, £185,000. It's in poor condition. Studio flat for sale in Chester Road, Manchester, in the Northwest, £100,000 to a cash buyer. 2-bedroom apartment for sale in Skyline Chambers, Manchester, Northwest, £120,000 to a cash buyer. 2-bedroom flat for sale in 5 Ludgate Hill in Manchester, in the Northwest, £120,000 to a cash buyer. 1-bedroom flat for sale in Red Building in Manchester, Northwest, £129,500 to a cash buyer. 2-bedroom terraced house for sale in Kirk Road, Sefton, in the Northwest, £70,000. It's got a low EPC. One bedroom apartment for sale in Chester Road, Manchester, Northwest, £130,000 to a cash buyer. Two bedroom flat for sale in Steel House, Woden in Salford in the Northwest, £150,000 to a cash buyer. Two bedroom bungalow for sale in 11 Chester Road, this is in Cheshire West and Chester Northwest, £190,000, it's in poor condition. Two bedroom apartment for sale in Salford Broadway, Salford Northwest, £239,950 to a cash buyer. Three bedroom apartment for sale in Fife in Scotland, £280,000, it's got a low EPC. Two bedroom flat for sale in Grange Court in Edinburgh, Scotland, £255,000, it's got a low EPC. Two bedroom flat for sale in Above Bar Street in Southampton, South East, £120,000 to a cash buyer. That looks a very central location there in Above Bar in Southampton. Two bedroom flat for sale in Ham Road, Worthing in the South East, £145,000 to a cash buyer. Two bedroom flat for sale in Kingsway, Selsey, Chichester, South East, £217,000 to a cash buyer. 217,500. Three bedroom semi-detached house for sale in Heights something road in Dover, South East, £180,000, it's got a low EPC. Two bedroom maisonette for sale in Brighton Road in Adur in the South East, £170,000 to a cash buyer. Three bedroom terraced house for sale in Bower Lane in Maidstone in the South East, £188,500. It's got a low EPC. Two bedroom detached bungalow for sale in Thanet, South East, £198,500. It's got a low EPC. Two bedroom detached bungalow for sale in Links Road in Folkestone and Hythe, South East, £188,500. It's got a low EPC. Two bedroom terraced house for sale in Old Hay in Maidstone, South East, £218,500. It's got a low EPC. Two bedroom detached bungalow for sale in Links, something in Folkestone and Hythe, South East, £285,000. It's got a low EPC. Two bedroom terraced house for sale in Worsley on the Isle of Wight, South East, £209,000. It's in poor condition. Three bedroom semi-detached house for sale in Medway in the South East, £215,000. It's got a low EPC. Three bedroom semi-detached house for sale in the Wealdon in South East, £231,500. It's got a low EPC. Two bedroom cottage for sale in the Pavement in Ashford, South East, £247,000. It's got a low EPC. Two bedroom detached bungalow for sale in North Down Road or Street in Thanet, South East, £264,500. It's got a low EPC. Three bedroom end of terraced house for sale in Mill Street or Mill Road in Horsham, South East, £264,500. It's got a low EPC. Two bedroom character property for sale in Main Road or Street in Isle of Wight, South East, £281,000. It's got a low EPC. Three bedroom terraced house for sale in Bower Lane in Maidstone, South East, £285,000. It's got a low EPC. Four bedroom end of terraced house for sale in Tunbridge and Malling in the South East, £297,000, low EPC. Three bedroom semi-detached house for sale in Tunbridge Wells in the South East, £297,500. It's got a low EPC. Two bedroom semi-detached bungalow for sale in Thanet in the South East, £300,000. It's in poor condition. Two bedroom park home for sale in Vicarage Lane, Medway, South East, £170,000 to a cash buyer. Two bedroom bungalow for sale in Ash Road in Dover in the South East, £180,000 to a cash buyer. Two bedroom maisonette for sale in Cotswold Court in Horsham in the South East, £200,000 to a cash buyer. Two bedroom park home for sale in Worthing Road in Horsham, South East, £215,000 to a cash buyer. One bedroom flat for sale in High Street, Totton in the New Forest, South East, £90,000 to a cash buyer. Studio flat for sale in Seaside, Eastbourne, South East, £110,000 to a cash buyer. 2-bedroom flat for sale in Vale Drive in Southampton, £115,000. It's got a low EPC. 2-bedroom apartment for sale in Three Corners in Oxford, South East, £185,000. It's got a short lease. 3-bedroom terraced house for sale in Seaview Road in Medway, Kent, South East, £225,000 to a cash buyer. 2-bedroom terraced house for sale in Elmbank in Torbay in the southwest, £140,000 to a cash buyer. 3-bedroom semi-detached house for sale in Stroud in Gloucestershire, southwest, £199,950 to a cash buyer. 3-bedroom terraced house for sale in Lower Park, Cornwall, southwest, £175,000 to a cash buyer. 3-bedroom semi-detached house for sale in Gassons in Cotswolds, southwest, £225,000 to a cash buyer. 2-bedroom lodge for sale in Polston Road, South Hams in the southwest, £150,000 to a cash buyer. 2-bedroom park home for sale in Avonsmere in South Gloucestershire in the southwest, £165,000 to a cash buyer. 3-bedroom house for sale in King Street in Dorset in the southwest, £175,000 to a cash buyer. 2-bedroom ground floor flat for sale in Trelly in Cornwall, southwest, £95,000 to a cash buyer. 4-bedroom detached bungalow for sale in the Forest of Dean in the southwest, £299,950. It's got a low EPC. 1-bedroom apartment for sale in the Plains in South Hams in the southwest, £160,000. It's in poor condition. 3-bedroom semi-detached house for sale in Close Road Street in Cornwall in the southwest, £135,000 to a cash buyer. 2-bedroom flat for sale in Chargrove, Yates, Lee maybe, South Gloucestershire, southwest, £178,500. It's got a low EPC. 3-bedroom detached house for sale in Sunset Road or Drive in Cornwall, southwest, £275,000. It's got a low EPC. 4-bedroom block of apartments for sale in Swindon in the southwest. It's £335,000. It's a repossession. 7-bedroom house for sale in Avenue Road in Cornwall, southwest, £250,000. It's got a low EPC. 3-bedroom house for sale in Bonds Row, Porlock in southwest, Somerset West and Taunton, southwest, £300,000. It's in poor condition. 1-bedroom flat for sale in Marsh House, Bristol in the southwest, £210,000 to a cash buyer. 3-bedroom block of apartments for sale in Swindon, southwest, £200,000. It's a repossession. 2-bedroom apartment for sale in Lawpool Court in Mendip in the southwest, £225,000 to a cash buyer. 2-bedroom ground floor flat for sale in Richmond Road or Street in Swansea, Wales, £65,000. It's a repossession. 3-bedroom semi-detached house for sale in Killing Road or Street in Cardiff in Wales, £325,000. That's got a short lease. 3-bedroom end of terraced house for sale in Neath in Port Talbot in Wales, £110,000. It's got Japanese knotweed, which is treatable but not mortgageable, so you need the cash for that. Land for sale in Gilfach, Rhondda, Sinantaff, Wales, £18,000. It's fire damaged. 2-bedroom terraced house for sale in Kildare Road or Street in Swansea, Wales, £4,500 to a cash buyer. That's the cheapest one we've got on the list here. If you're interested in a challenge, you can follow up on that one, £4,500 for a terraced house in Swansea. 2-bedroom cottage for sale in Tyne Newid in Denbighshire in Wales, £175,000. It's got a low EPC. 2-bedroom maisonette for sale in Winfield Road or Street in Birmingham in the West Midlands, £90,000. It's got a short lease. 3-bedroom detached house for sale in Valley Road in Walsall in the West Midlands, £160,000 to a cash buyer. 3-bedroom terraced house for sale in Moorland Road or Street in Walsall, West Midlands, £100,000 to a cash buyer. 3-bedroom end of terraced house for sale in Coventry, West Midlands, £60,000. It's in poor condition. It looks like it might be fire damaged there. 2-bedroom maisonette for sale in Keppel Close in Rugby in the West Midlands, £95,000. It's got a short lease. 3-bedroom semi-detached house for sale in Cannock Chase in the West Midlands, £190,000 to a cash buyer. Land for sale in Raw Marsh in Rotherham, Yorkshire in the Humber, £25,000. It's got Japanese knotweed. 3-bedroom end of terraced house for sale in Leeds, Yorkshire and Humber, £125,000 to a cash buyer. 2-bedroom apartment for sale in Solly Street in Sheffield, Yorkshire and Humber, £135,000 to a cash buyer. 3-bedroom detached house for sale in Springwood Road or Street in Kirklees, Yorkshire and the Humber, £325,000. It's water damaged. 3-bedroom terraced house for sale in 52 Nelson Road or Street, Doncaster, Yorkshire and the Humber, £40,000. It's got a low EPC. 2-bedroom flat for sale in Lowdale Close in Hull, Kingston upon Hull, Yorkshire and the Humber, £70,000. It's a repossession. So that's the latest distressed properties list. If you are interested in any of these properties, we may be able to help you to secure them or refurbish them. So get in touch with me. That's Alan at Alpus Group on +44 7539 141 257 or +44 333 224 1257. You can schedule a call with me at calendly.com/AlanJE, or you can just drop me an email at alan@alpusgroup.com. Cheers for now, and Happy New Year.